Hello, hi. So next video is the continuation of the previous video, and from the same paper. This is specimen paper 2020 paper 2, and we completed document production in the previous video. Now we are moving on to data manipulation, which is task 3. Task 3, database. You are now going to prepare some reports using related tables in a database. So first thing before you start, or like whenever you go for IGCSE, the students have to know what is relational database and what is flat file database. I'll be creating a video regarding these two databases. I'll be explaining what it is in another video. Make sure all currency values display the same currency symbol and are set to 2 decimal places. And the first question of database is, using a suitable database package, import the file sp2apprend.csv. CSV is a comma separated value, which is again a generic file format, which is a text file. So we have to import it to your database file. So for that, first we have to open Access and create a new file. By default there is one table. Close it because we need to import our table. So the first table that we have to import is sp2apprend, and we have to make sure that these data types are applied and these formats are applied. So let me start by going to external data tab, and there are two groups, import and link and export. Definitely we are going for import and link, and the CSV is .csv. sp2apprend.csv is a text file. Choose text file, browse, and open the table from your folder. You can see here this is a text file, and I have chosen sp2apprend. Click open, click OK. Now the first step is whether we have to go for delimited or fixed width. We know that this is a CSV file, which is a comma separated value files. So make sure that you're choosing delimited and click next. And in the second step, you can see the preview of the table. Everything is considered as a data here. These are headings, these are the data. But we have to separate this heading and the data. Otherwise, when we try to choose the data type, we will not be able to see the field name because we did not separate the field name with the data. So first thing is, you have to choose first row contain field names, so the headings and the data will be separated, and then go for advanced, where we have to change the data type according to the question paper. Now the first field name is level, which is number, and it is given as long integer. Either you can stick on with long integer, or you can go for integer, since level is having only a single data or single numbers. So I'm going for integer. Vacancy title, vacancy underscore reference are text. Make sure those are text. Short text is fine, or if in your computer just text, that's also fine. Now closing date is date and time. So you can see in my computer it is date with time. In your computer it could be date/time. Both are correct. And for date and time we have a format dd hyphen capital M's hyphen YY. So that need to be changed in this section, date, time, numbers. The date order you have to make sure it is DMY, and date delimiter is not slash, but instead the delimiters, these are the delimiters, we have hyphen. So change the slash to hyphen. And time, we don't have any time here. What about the years? 4 years are enabled, but we have only 2 years, so unmark this. And leading zeros in dates, an example is given, the date is leading with zeros, so mark leading with zeros. So that is compulsory to do in this step. Otherwise, when you import, after importing, if you haven't done this step before importing, then you will get error table here. On after the importing of the table, you will get an error table if you are not doing this DMY. And then duration is long integer, it's number, so let it be. Prop wage is currency. Whenever you get a data type with numeric and currency, give the priority for currency. So change this prop wage to currency. We can change this decimal place in a design view. Now all these four are text, or are text. Day release is boolean or logical, which means yes or no. Now click OK. Click next. These are some field options that we don't need to do. So go for the next step where we have to choose the primary key. Set vacancy reference as a primary key. So choose my own primary key and vacancy underscore reference. If they did not mention any primary key, go for no primary key. Otherwise, if you are going for let access at primary key, one extra field will get added. So don't go for that. Choose my own primary key if it is mentioned. Otherwise, go for no primary key. Click next, finish, and close. So this is our first table. Now we can cross check if everything is according to the format. This is text, and see the date is still need to be changed, and currency, it's correct, but we have to make sure it is correct. And this need to be, day release need to be displayed as yes or no. So we can change it in design view. Date and time we have to change first in format. According to the question, it is DD MMM YY. It is actually medium date. If you are getting confused whether it is long date, short date, already the example is given, so you don't need to be confused first of all. But still, if you are getting confused, the best method is type exactly what is given in the question paper. So that is the format. Next is prop wage. We can choose currency. Decimal place should be 2. All our text, and now we have to go for day release. Choose day release. Make sure the format is yes or no. Also go to lookup, make sure this is text box. If this is not text box, but if it is checkbox, there is no use of changing this here. So after that, go to datasheet view by saving the design view. Make sure that the changes got applied. So save the data, take screenshot evidence showing field name and data type. Insert the screenshot in your evidence document. So here we can see field names, but we can't see data type. So this is not the correct view which need to be taken as the screenshot. To see field names and data types, you have to go to design view where you can see field name and data type. Take the screenshot and place this as evidence file. Now import the file sp2trainer.csv as a new table in your database. Set appropriate data type for data in each field. Set trainer reference as a primary key. So we have to import another table. Again, go to external data, text file, browse, and the table is sp2trainer. So likewise delimited, separate the field name and the data. Go for advanced. All are text actually. Here we can see trainer reference, this should be text, this should be text, and address should be text, address 2 3 all should be text. Contact name, again it should be text, but telephone is given as integer. But you can see here the telephone is proceeding with 0. In some cases the telephone can be proceeded with a plus symbol. So for telephone also we have to change this to text. Text can include symbols, text can include integers, text can include all the characters. So make sure that you are converting or changing the telephone from long integer to text. Then click next. Now go to the fourth step. Check if there is any primary key. Trainer underscore reference should be a primary key. So choose my own primary key. Click next. Finish. Close. So this is the second table. Now save the data. Again you show the evidence for field name and data type for this table. This is the evidence. Save. Now create a one-to-many relationship between trainer underscore reference field in trainer table and trainer underscore code in the apprentice table. So we have to relate trainer underscore reference to trainer underscore code. We can see here both are having similar data, but this is not a primary key, but this is a primary key. So 1LP01AS1 is related to all LPAS01, or for example I can say here LP04B01. So there is one LP04B01 in this table, which is primary key. This is related to all LP04B01 of this table. We can see this LP04B01 is here in this record, and it is repeating again in this record, 14th record, and it is again repeating in the 19th record. So this will create a one-to-many relationship. If you want to display all LP04B01, we have to relate this table to the second table. Now to create relationship, go to database tools, relationships, add both the table. Now if in case you added again, but which we don't need, just right click and hide the table. We need only these two tables. Expand it and relate this trainer underscore reference to trainer underscore code. This is to make sure if in case I do trainer underscore reference to prob age, we can see that here, so that we can change it from this. So trainer underscore reference to trainer underscore code, the relationship type is one-to-many. If you have chosen the correct fields, we can see the relationship type properly, otherwise it will be changed. So click on create. Now the relationship got created. Now the next is we have to show the evidence that we created the one-to-many relationship. So for the evidence, choose or do the same process again. You will get this since already we have a relationship. They are asking whether we need to edit or not. So click yes and then place this window here, so the relationship that created is visible and the relationship type is also visible. Take the screenshot and then place it as evidence 7. Okay, now next is create a columnar data entry form using all the fields from SP to apprend. Now using database we can create a lot of things. We can create a form, we can create a report, we can create a label is here, we can create queries, etc. So here the question is to create a form. So we need to create a form using SP to apprend table. All the fields should be visible in the form. So let's start creating the form by going to create tab, and from the form group go for form wizard, so that you can do everything in step-by-step format without missing anything. If you click on create on form, and then you will get the form automatically, but you have to do other things manually, so better go for wizards. So click on form wizard, make sure the table is SP to apprend and choose all the fields. Click next, and according to the question paper it should be columnar data entry form. So click next and they did not ask us to give any title for the form. I'm just going to rename it for me to understand, SP2 apparent form, and finish. So this is the SP2 apparent form. This is the first record. There are 504 records. Here also say 504 records are there. So this is the SP2 apparent form. So we have done with this, and if you choose columnar format, automatically all the fields will be on the left side and aligned properly. Data entry boxes are appropriately sized automatically. If you feel it is not, you can change. And third one is day release. We have to include the day release. Instead of text box, we have to change this to an option button or radio button. So we have to change this. I'm going to change this in the design view. I'm going to delete, first of all, I'm going to delete these two. I selected, and then I'm going to delete it, and then I'm going to add an option group, which is a radio button. Click and drag. So you will get this window where you have to give the label names. Label names means these are labels what need to be displayed. Those are called labels. The first one is yes, and second one is no. And here they have mentioned, make sure the form displays a single record. Okay, place in your evidence document screenshots showing radio buttons have been set and the value stored in the day release field. So there are different methods to show the screenshot. One of the easiest method and one of the accurate method is by taking the screenshot in each step. So if you take a screenshot in this step, this will show that you have created the labels yes or no. So you can just take the screenshot and place it under evidence 8. This is not done. See, in the question paper itself they have mentioned screenshot or shots, so more screenshots can be taken. So this is the first step that I have taken as a screenshot, and now I will click next. This is an option whether you need, when you open a form, if you want a default, whenever you open a blank form, if you want to display the day release as yes by default, you can choose this. Yes, the default choice is yes. If we want to display it as no, we can choose no, or we don't need to display any default, then we can choose no. According to this question paper, they did not ask us to do anything, so either you can ignore, or you can choose no, or you can choose yes. So now I'm going for no. It's not necessary for this paper. Click next, and this is the space where you will give the value for each label according to the question paper. They mentioned that -1 for yes and 0 for no. So -1 should be given for yes and 0 should be given for no. So this is also an important evidence where we can convey to the examiner that we created the labels yes and no, and we gave the value -1 for yes and 0 for no. So take the screenshot and place this as the second screenshot under the same evidence, which is evidence 8. If you want, you can label it properly. Now click next, and this is the space where you will store. The question is, these values need to be stored. So save the value. Save the value means which will not appear in the output correctly, but you have to store the value in the field day release. The question is about day release, so we have to store the value whatever we have given in the previous step in the field day release. This is also an important evidence, so take the screenshot and place it as the third screenshot under the same evidence. You can crop it, no problem in that. And next, now this is again an optional that we can use. In this paper they did not ask us to show as option buttons or check boxes or toggle buttons, so you can choose any. You can go for default. This is the sample for default. If you need check boxes, this is the sample. If you need toggle boxes, buttons, you can go for this. If you need flat, if you need raised, anything is fine. Either you can ignore or you can choose by yourself. If it is asked in the question paper, then you have to do it specifically. Now what caption do you want for the option group? Frame 23 means the field name. The field name we deleted, so we have to give the field name day release. So the options should come under the frame or under the caption day release. Now click on finish. Now you can see it clearly in the form view. these are the options. So we can take one screenshot from here which will show that you created an option button under the field name day release. So I have 4 screenshots here. Another method is like you can go to design view, select this, go to property sheet, and then you can show one by one in format. Everything is there. So many of the students will find this method easy since they are doing the steps by themselves. So you can go for any of the method, you will get the mark. And now make sure the form displays a single record only, all the fields and data are fully visible, and the layout is consistent with even spacing between the fields. And we already have taken the screenshots, so that's all for the form. Now you can go back to the form view. Now use the form created in step 23 to enter the following data as a new record. So there are 504 records. We have to include a new record which will create a 505th record, and we have to give this data. Level is 4 and vacancy title is software tester, vacancy reference, closing date, duration is 16, 135.65, town is Basildon, Tawara, technical area is digital, trainer code is LP04, and day release is yes. So we are done with the new data. Now you have to take the screenshot for the new data. You can take the screenshot and then paste it under evidence 9. So that's all for form. Now the next 2 questions are for creating the report and exporting the report. So that will be uploaded as another video. Thank you.